till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Getting dividends, so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all stars, I coach them up like a Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupon for Uber. Rhyme hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been a stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The war heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, down the deep, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. Many yo, got my nigga Rawan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin' my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit I never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockin' gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talkin' shit, y'all know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life for a let you take mine. And I realize the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, Shalom Yahweh Bashim Yah Shabrak. That's all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Latham Bashim Yah. Shout out to all the sisters. It's the Isupk, Eastern Carolina. Holding it down. It's Priest Officer 50 Hawan Yahweh until Officer 1000 Year Mark is ready. Salaki, can y'all hear me? 1 second. Change the audio right quick. 1 second, Baba Kasha. Oh, yeah. It's on the map. Is that better? Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me. Kind of sweat. All right. So today is the law class, of course, man. You know, we about to debunk what that Christian pastor always tell you. He tell you that the laws are done away with, man. You know, it's even, you know, heavier that he says that because, of course, the Bible, you know, brings out the truth that the laws still stand, man. You know, 1 second, Baba Kasha. 1 second. 1 second, Baba Kasha. All right. Good. All right. Good. All right. So, you know, that Christian pastor always tells you that the laws are done away with. But of course, you know, I'm going to prove tonight New Testament, you know, all my New Testament Christians that are, you know, very, you know, watching this, you know, breakdown right here, man. You know, my first scripture I'm going to pull right here for y'all is book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. If you're in the class, you can read along. Like, yeah, I got you. So, good. All right. Let me know when y'all have it. One second. Just like it. All right, y'all got it? All right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. And it's written in red, by the way. If you read it off your phone, if you got it on, the Bible, it may be, it's written in red, depending on what kind of Bible you got. But it's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And this is Christ speaking to us, man. He's breaking down at the end of the day that myth that the Christian pastor teaches that, the laws are done away with. That Christian pastor will tell you right now that God knows my heart, or, I can eat pork, stuff like that. And I'm just going to pray over it. But in the day, Christ, said this in the New Testament, that God does not know your heart, that in fact, that you actually have to follow these laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord. This book right here is not the Big Ten. It's not just, a book and you're just looking at it and you don't have to follow it. It's, they say online, it's over 613 laws in the Bible. But that's the one thing that you have to debunk as well, is that you have to follow the laws that pertain to you. Like me, if I get, I don't bleed once a month, so I can't follow the law according to that, but I can follow don't eat pork. So that's the truth that comes with it. Christ laid down his book so that we have a structure in our communities, in our household, so that we have something to follow more than just, anything else. So it's the real truth. All right, let's read down further. All right. Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. It's basically saying that you should not take anything away from the law. It's like, that saying, dot every I and cross every T. That's what Christ is speaking about right here. We shouldn't take anything from this law. We should follow all the way through to all be fulfilled. He said to all be fulfilled because at the end of the day, the fulfillment of the law, that lake of fire, all that stuff we have learned growing up, that's true. The lake of fire, the Third World War, all this stuff is true. And Christ is speaking about it right here. Verse 19. Let's get into it a little bit more. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, think of a least commandment that we break every single day, that we may not have known growing up, or we probably knew, but we just didn't care much. For instance, say eating pork. Everybody loved pork in the Christian church. That's just the world-renowned thing that we eat today, growing up. But that's a commandment that people died for back then. If you read the story in the book of Maccabees, 7 sons were killed over pork because the king wanted this family to sin against the Lord. But because their strength behind following the laws of God, they didn't die. They died behind this. You feel me? They kept following the law of not eating pork because that's what Christ taught them. That's what Yahweh, which is Christ. This Bible teaches us to keep these laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord. And she'll teach men so many that that's talking to the Christian pastor. The Christian pastor is teaching men and women, to disobey the Lord. This book right here, this is, the word holy. It says Holy Bible on the front. It means separate. When you break it down, it means separateness or withdrawal. So that means that this book is separately written to a specific group of people. And the group of people that it's talking about is us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Israelites, so-called Israelites of the Bible, the iniquity of his Bible. And he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, meaning that Christian pastor, because of the work that he hasn't done, he hasn't structured our families according to this book. He's did it off of his own righteousness. He should be held as low in the kingdom of heaven. When Christ come back, he gonna get punished. If you read Jeremiah 23, you understand what I'm talking about. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven, meaning that it's talking about hierarchy in heaven, meaning that following this Bible, it gains you something. It gains you strength in our communities. If we knew that we ain't supposed to eat pork, we'd have less health issues. If we knew that we didn't supposed to do certain things, even love thy neighbors ourselves, it's always emphasized, but nobody really hits on the head with it. Like, do you really love that brother? You feel me? That sister. You're supposed to talk to them. You're supposed to love them, even though don't go to sleep upon your wrath. That scripture right there. Be swift to anger, slow to speak. That's very important because that keeps our communities tight knit. And now we have less drugs. Now we have less violence in our communities. And that's what the scripture is talking about right here. All right, so drop that. Go to the book of Matthew 19 and 17. Just let me know when you're there. Got it? That's what. All right, so this is Christ right here speaking. He's saying, something very heavy. He's talking about himself and he's asking a question here. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? He was speaking and saying that, why do you call him good? There's none good but one, that is God. He's talking about the only, good person is the Lord, God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He didn't say some of them. He didn't say what you want to follow. He said, keep the commandments. He made it straightforward and plain. He laid it down right there so that we know what to do. That's an instruction at the end of the day. And Christ laid it down plain. You know, even people, when they read the Bible, they think it's all just parables. But nah, Christ, he was a straight shooter. He laid it down plain so that we can understand. Now, there's parables in there that you may be confused at first, but it's just more. When you read the scriptures, you got to read precept upon precept, line upon line. You got to read up a little and down a little for context. Because at the end of the day, we all grow up hearing that, oh, that's your perspective, that's your belief, when we just don't read the Bible. That's the whole truth. If we read up and read down a little, we'll understand every single word. Christ literally warred with the 12 disciples to make sure we understood. But the truth is, because we've been taught the wrong way, we have the wrong understanding. We have the wrong belief. We fell into these different, ideologies under these different guides and serving any and everything, when those things don't keep the Black community together. They actually destroy them, because now we're separate. Christ ain't here to lead us, but now we have to govern ourselves. Like Zephaniah 2:1 says, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. We're not desired in this place. We've been in America for over 400 years, and we're not desired. We see it every single day. We see George Floyd getting unalive. We see Breonna Taylor getting unalive. They didn't care about us. They didn't put no love into our communities. They put drugs into our communities. They broke us apart. But we have to govern ourselves. We have to be strong like this together. And that's the truth of the Bible. That this Bible is used to strengthen our communities, to bring back that love that we don't get at the end of the day. So you drop that. Go to the book of 1 John chapter 2. Just let me know if you have it. I'm going to start at verse 3. You got it? All right, so it's the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments, meaning that we know we love, the Lord. Everybody says that, oh, I love God. What would Jesus do? All these different statements. But we understand that we know God by keeping his commandments. Commandments just means instructions. That's what law, statute, commandments are. It's instructions set down by the Lord. If somebody commands you to do something, like at your job, they want you to follow it through. They want you to follow suit. And that's what the Lord wanted us to do. He wanted us to follow suit and actually abide by the rules he laid down for us. Because at the end of the day, when you actually follow suit to what he put down for us, you see a change in your communities. You see a change in your relationships. You see a change in your households. That's what Christ intended for us to do. That's the only reason he got put on this earth, is to do the work that God, told him to do, to teach us his Bible so that we have strength in our communities. You keep reading. Verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments. It's talking to somebody that says that, I love Jesus. I know this, that, and third, but they don't actually read this Bible. They don't apply it. They don't allow it to change their life so that strength can be brought back to them. It says he's a liar. And the truth is not in him, meaning that truth they speak out of their mouth, they say they're speaking, it's not in them. Because you can't, be a hypocrite and say, oh, I do this, I do that, but you don't follow through. That's what a hypocrite would be. Verse 5, but whoso keepeth his word in him, verily is the love of God perfected, meaning the love of God is perfected in you. Through keeping these laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord, the love of God is with you. Hereby know we that we are him, are in him. Shalom, other one. All right. So we understand that, it's so heavy that we, the scripture right here, because it just teaches you and instructs you that you have to keep the Lord's commandments. All right. So we're going to drop that. We're going to go to the book of Romans chapter 6. Verse 1, by the way. You got it? Yeah. If you're online, let me know when you got it as well. Just follow along. All right, so this is the book of Romans chapter 6. What shall we say then? Shall we continue to sin that grace may abound? This is a question being asked, because at the end of the day, we've been taught based on what that, our leaders have been teaching us, those Christian pastors. They teach us whatever they want to teach us. But how do we know that it's correct? That's the first thing. And they say we're under grace. So it gives in the mind, when you get a bill and it's late, you know how they put a grace period out there? And they say that, oh, if you don't, if they don't, pay about a certain amount, they're gonna tack on a little late fee. That's what grace is. It means it ends eventually. Eventually they're gonna put that extra money on your bill, so now that you got to pay extra. Just like with the Lord, you have a grace period. You have time to get it right. He says, even though all things are lawful unto me, they're not expedient, meaning that he don't expect you to hear the words of what I'm saying or anybody saying in the ISUPK right now, today, and correct it like that. But he expects you to take heed, meaning that open your ears, listen to the words of the priests and the prophets of the Lord, and let it resonate in your spirit, so that maybe on the 30th day, maybe on the 90th day, little by little, piece by piece, you'll come back to these scriptures. And that's the truth. So he's saying, what shall we say then? Shall we continue with sin? Meaning that, should we continue with sin because this so-called grace is abound us? And that's the truth. Verse 2 says, God forbid. Meaning that, no, we shouldn't. We know these laws, statutes, commandments of the Lord pertain to us. We know that we're, the lost sheep of Israel. We know that this Bible in Deuteronomy 28 breaks down that we were on slave ships and brought back into Egypt, which means Egyptos, which means bondage. We was in bondage for 450 years. And even today, we have mental chains placed on our mind that plague our communities. And that just tells you that this Bible is about us. It's for us. Drop down to 15. All right. Let me know you're there. Got it? What then shall we sin? Because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. He's saying right here that should we continue in sin because we're not under the punishment of the law? Meaning that, you can eat pork and not worry about a Levitical priest coming to get you. Or you can rob somebody and not worry about any punishment besides, getting arrested. You don't have to worry about the Lord just chopping your head off and nothing crazy like that. He's basically saying right there that should we continue being sinners? No, that's the truth. You shouldn't. You should correct yourself. You should understand that it's law and instructions that was given to us. Our culture was given to us by this Bible, and we do have to follow it because it keeps our communities. It strengthens us, as a whole community, and that's the truth. All right. Go back to 1 John chapter 3. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start at verse 4. So right now, I'm going to, get a little bit on what a sin is. We've been told that everything in the Christian church is a sin. Going to the club is a sin in the Christian church, drinking alcohol, whatever they put in our minds, they say everything is a sin when we're going to get it out of this Bible, the Lord's Bible, this New Testament, what an actual sin is. So verse 4, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. A transgression is something, is basically when you break something. Meaning that if you break a law in this Bible, you have now broken, in which is sin. That's all it is. It's very simple. That Christian church, like it puts that dogma in our minds that everything is a sin when that's not true. At the end of the day, drinking alcohol is not a sin. Going to a club is not a sin. Those little things that are pushed into our minds, it's just Christian dogma that has plagued us, which is, of course, the Bible debunks everything they say. And that's why, I tell anybody that's trying to learn and understand, read up a little, read down a little, actually get in your word. Because now you can actually debunk all the lies that Christian church has ever told you, because they do the same thing to all of us. They tell us the same thing. It's just a blueprint that they have to tell us what they feel we need to know. When who runs these so-called theology schools where the pastors go to learn? The oppressor, the so-called white man. He runs the schools. How are you going to tell a so-called African-American what to do and structure their life? That's the truth. It's like it. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Went out. 1 second. Oh. Yep. All right, that's what. Well, that's the truth behind that matter. That Christian pastor, of course, has told us these different, things that make us think that everything is a sin. At the end of the day, look at it like this. It's his story, meaning that he's telling it through his lenses, not through what the Bible actually tells us. The Bible actually tells us that we're the chosen people of God, but he makes us feel like the scum of the earth every single day. He gives us the low pay, he gives us the drugs, he gives us these different things that break us apart. And then now our life is taken away. We're in pain. We're waking up every single day fighting. You know, it's crazy how you ask African American, so how your day going, man? I'm just trying to get by. What you're asking an oppressor, oh man, I got a mansion to go to. You know, I got that Porsche, that Corvette. All right, and with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to precinct officer 1,000 yard mark. Clap it up.
That's fine. We'll just leave it there. All right, what's going on? What are we talking about? Where we at?
Like everyone, we First John 2.
First John 2.
First John 3 and 4.
3 and 4. All right, the water officer, Juan holding it down. If you could just make sure all the sisters got anything they need. We got something to drink in the back if y'all want anything. Questions. Type your questions in the chat. I'll take the questions in the room. If there's any questions in the room. Give me 1 second. Let me send this link out tonight to y'all. Questions online. If you got questions, just type them in the chat. Be patient. I'll get to your question. If not, let's save it for next week. Any questions in the room? Yeah, question. You can't see the chat, right, Juan? We got to change this TV out ASAP. You need a call. You know how to mount TVs? Not really. Yeah, we gotta mount that into that center block. I gotta figure this out. Notes what I read. We got a question online from Sister Tiana. She says, Salaga, sir, if I may ask, is watching holiday themed movies or shows considered celebrating pagan holidays? No. Watching it. What you don't want to do is when it comes to like celebrating these holidays, right? What you want to think about is the reasoning why you're doing it, right? A lot of y'all during the fall season, a lot of us, we fall into the spirit of celebrating these holidays. So we'll start to do what? We'll start to get the Febreze that's fall scented. We'll start to want to decorate the house with lights because of the holiday season. And then we'll lie to ourselves and tell ourselves, well, you know, I'm just decorating because I just like lights. When you know damn well that that's not the reason that you do it. You understand? Thanksgiving, same thing. How many of y'all eat turkey and cranberry sauce year round? How many of y'all do it? You do it? You eat just on a regular Tuesday, you opening a can of cranberry sauce, huh? Listen, during Thanksgiving time, it is almost a necessity that we eat turkey and cranberry sauce for whatever reason. We don't do it no other time. Turkeys are here all year, in case y'all didn't know. They here all year just like chicken, but nobody roasts turkeys more than they do it on Thanksgiving. But now, if you ask the common Black person, do they really love Thanksgiving? Do they really understand the history of why they do it? They don't. They're doing it because we are slaves in America, and as a slave, you behave like one. You're going to celebrate and worship the things that your slave master taught us to worship and celebrate. And that's why you do it. It's like you on a conveyor belt. You don't even know why you do it. How many of y'all know the history of Thanksgiving? How many of y'all know why Thanksgiving even started? If you don't know, then that's crazy. You understand? Like that's something that you should really look at and start to ask yourself, why have we done this for generations? Why every single year, why do I put a Christmas tree up in my house? Give me the what is it, Jeremiah 10:2? Give me that. Why do we do these things? That might not be the one that I'm looking for. It is?
Mhm.
Yeah, give me that. Why do we do these things? Right.
I'm sorry, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
learn not the way of the heathen.
So remember, like, this Bible is written to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is our manual for life. Like, if you've ever looked at Black people and you ever said, dang, why are we so screwed up? Why is our relationship so screwed up? Why are our Black men so destroyed? You got to think about it. Like, imagine you got a vehicle. Your vehicle always come with what in the glove box? It always comes with a manual.
Right.
It tells you what kind of gas is supposed to go in the vehicle, how many miles you're supposed to put on the car before it goes in for oil change, what the tire pressure is supposed to be. But imagine if you disregard all of those things. Imagine you listen to me. You got a 2024 Maybach, and you come to me and I say, fuck all that. Put 87 gas in there. Matter of fact, put sugar, take this alcohol bottle and stick it in your gas tank. That's how you're gonna run that car. And make sure that tire pressure is on 98. Put it on 98. And imagine you listen to me. The longer you listen to me, what's gonna happen to that car? It's gonna run, it's gonna break. It's gonna be hooked on drugs. It's gonna have a divorce rate higher than whatever. It's gonna have 400,000 abortions every single year, just in the Black community alone. It's going to be destroyed because we disobeyed our manual. The Bible is that manual. It's the one thing that is in everyone's glove box that none of you have ever read. None of you looked at it. But it's there. And if you have problems, if you want to fix the problem, you can open up that glove box and you can go in there, you can go to page 86 and find out what the tire pressure is supposed to be. The Bible is no different. So when it comes to dealing with these holidays, the Bible said to not follow after the heathen. Don't look at what the Chinese man is doing. Don't look at what the African man is doing, or better yet, our oppressor, and to follow him. We should run from everything he's doing. Like the oppressor can't tell me nothing. A devil could come in here and tell me that Jesus is Black, and I would have to make sure I get that check first. I would be on the phone with Commander Jenny Hannes. Like, I don't know, this devil has told me that Christ was a Black man. I don't know if I should believe him or not. That's the spirit that we should have. But unfortunately, that's not the spirit that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians had. We followed the heathen. Keep reading.
If be not dismayed in the signs of heaven.
And what does that mean? To be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Zodiac signs.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Officer Nadia, I got you on screen. If you got any questions, just say Salaki.
Come on, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Juan. Say what you said again.
It's like sir. I mean, I'm talking about the zodiac signs, that astrology.
Yeah.
Use it to allow you to stray you away from the Lord.
Come, you start going into all of the astrology, the worshiping of the stars. You start thinking, oh man, if this man right here is a Capricorn, I can't F with him because he's a Capricorn. Like, you understand that that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, you a Libra, that means you this way. Or the moon is in this cycle, that means I'm gonna have a terrible day today. So I'm already depressed because that full moon is here. That full moon is here, so I'm gonna be unlucky. That is the dumbest thing. That is what heathens do because they're stupid. They're stupid. If you look up the constellations of what they say is of the Leo, and they say that it's a lion, it looks nothing like a lion. Just go Google it. Just Google it. It looks like a teapot. It looks nothing like a lion. But because we are so stupid, we are able to be beguiled by the heathens. They'll tell you anything. They'll tell you that COVID-19 was a black virus when it started in China from them eating pangolins and rats and whatnot. You understand? But that's what they'll teach you. And because we love them, because we trust our oppressor, we'll believe them rather than trusting each other, which is why what you brothers and what you sisters are doing in here is absolutely astronomical. Brothers and sisters in the world would never think to go to a brother to learn about God. They would never think to go to a brother to learn about who the Most High is and who the prophets were in the Bible. because our whole life we've been taught that to be a priest of God, we had to go through their theology school. We had to go to the white man's university to learn these words to be able to then teach our people. That is a lie. Read it again.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen,
Mm-hmm.
and be not dismayed at the signs.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Keep going.
For the heathen are dismayed.
But that's the heathen's thing. Let them be dismayed at that. Let them act like that. You understand? That's not how we be. That's not what we do. Keep going.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For the customs of the people are vain.
So now, remember, how many of y'all put a Christmas tree up in your house ever before? Don't be scared. We all did it.
All right.
Why?
It's a good one.
Come on.
I would say we learned it from this, this hellhole being that was our custom when, it's incorrect.
Mm-hmm. But what else?
Slightly.
Come on, sis.
I would say because we were told to all of our lives that we
Yeah.
had to put a Christmas tree.
Yeah. It was just your whole life grew up. It was a Christmas tree every year. So of course you finally how many of y'all ever had your first apartment, the first time you moved out on your own, and you like, damn, I finally get to decorate my house for Christmas. And you went and did it exactly how you wanted to do it, and you did it because you was taught that your whole life. When the Bible speaks against this, right? Let me see. Chantaray said because everyone else did it, yeah. But the Bible speaks against this. We keep reading.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For the customs of the people are vain.
But read that last part one more time. Mm-hmm.
For the customs of the people are vain.
No, the part before that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For the heathen are dismayed in them.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Keep going.
For one cut a tree out of the forest.
For now, thousands of years ago, before you could go to Walmart or where y'all get your Christmas trees from? Where you get them from, Juan?
Good night.
Before you was able to go to the side of the road into them empty parking lots and pick a tree out. Before you was able to order a tree from Amazon to practice this service or to practice this worship, you had to go in the forest and cut a tree out yourself. You had to do it. And this is what we were doing. Keep reading.
Okay. One cut a tree out of the forest.
Mm-hmm.
The work of the hands of the workmen
Mm-hmm.
with the axe.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
They decked it with silver and with gold.
They did what?
They decked it with silver and with gold.
They did what?
They decked it with silver and with gold.
What do you do today? You take that tree, you put it in your house, and you decorate it. You deck that tree with silver and with gold and with blue and with light, and you make that tree shine because you are making an idol. That's why. If that tree did not have those lights, you would not want it in your house. But for that tree to live, for it to breathe, you give it life. You put the silver, you put the ornaments on it, you put the candy canes on it. It's no different. I remember when I was young, I had some family member who passed away. I have no idea who it was. And I remember that sometimes when we used to have dinners, they would make a plate and put the plate on the table and say that this is for them. That nigga is not eating that. You understand? Like that nigga is gone. He is dead and gone. He has no need for these collard greens on his plate. But you know what? I did. I did have a need for those collard greens. I did want that food. There was people who were starving, but we are so caught up in this mysticism that is the heathens' logic in their lives that we would do stuff that absolutely means nothing. That tree in your house means nothing. The gifts under the tree, it means nothing. How many of you parents have slaved all year round? You worked your ass off to get the little bit of money that you could come up with, and then you go out there and you buy them gifts for them kids that get F's all year. They're terrible kids, and you go out there and sacrifice and put gifts underneath the tree, and you tell them who got the gifts. Tell them Santa Claus did it. Santa Claus got the gifts. This is insane, the oppression that we've been put under. We teach our children not to lie, but then every year we lie to them. We lie to them and tell them that Santa Claus is real. We lie to them and tell them that the tooth fairy is real when it ain't real. There ain't no such thing as no Santa Claus coming into your apartment. You ain't got no chimney in your apartment. But you would teach them that there's some jolly white man who is making their lives better. And if you that's what you push into your children, then when they get older, they're gonna push the same. They're gonna believe that there's some white man who gives us gifts, who makes us feel joy, when in actuality it's your mother who did it. In actuality, it's that father, that man who's slaving, who did it. You understand? Keep reading.
They fastened it with nails and with hammers, that it moved not.
So now they tie the tree down to the ground. You gotta, because you have to let that tree stand up. It can't fall. Keep going.
Verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born.
Meaning what? What does that mean? They speak or not, but their needs must be born.
It's like the one.
Come on.
The tree is unalive, so it has no real tree use.
Yeah. What else?
So you have
What needs to be born?
that you have to give it life.
Yes. That's it. That tree is nothing. It's dirt. It's would you bring this tree into your house? Would you go outside and bring the dirt into your house? No, you wouldn't. That tree is nothing but dirt and wood and leaves, but you bring it into your house, and what makes it special? You do. You make the tree special. It needs to make you feel a certain way. When you go up into the house and you got that song playing, that Chris Brown and this Christmas, and you got the eggnog and the lights and the decorations, and you go in there and you just sit and just look at the tree. You just stare at it, and you just stare, and you swear that you're not worshiping the idol. You'll swear up and down, I'm not worshiping no idol. I'm just staring at this tree. When there's 1,000 trees outside that I don't understand, but this one right here is special. It needs to be born, and you're birthing it. You're making that tree special. Keep going.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil.
Not
also.
Go ahead.
Is it in them to do good?
It can't do nothing. The tree is pointless. That tree is not going to save your family.
Right.
It's not going to lift the spirits of your children. That tree is nothing at all, but it's everything that you make it. You understand? Just a brief history. We started celebrating Christmas because of who? Because of a man named King Nimrod. King Nimrod was someone who ruled the land of Babylon, where all kinds of wickedness was able to thrive. And when he died, his mother, not wanting to lose her seat and power, she told the people that his spirit lived in the evergreen tree. Now, remember, during these times, you didn't have Google. Right? When you lived inside of a kingdom, you damn near never left unless you had the job of a messenger. You didn't get to explore the horizons or explore the world or gain the knowledge. But the people in power, they had knowledge. They had the books, they had the scrolls, so they knew certain things. And because you were stupid, you had no idea that forests are filled with evergreen trees that never change throughout the seasons. It's the one tree that never changes. And so because this tree doesn't change, they take the tree and put it in the middle of the season, and they say what? Middle of the season, and they say what? That Nimrod's spirit lives in this tree. That's why it never dies. It never dies. And what did she begin to do? She began to make people worship this tree, to force brothers to come and give gifts and sacrifices unto Nimrod so that she could stay in power. And back then, if you read the book of Maccabees, it'll go into how we the Israelites were rebelling against doing it. We went because we knew it was a sin to serve other gods. And what would they do? They would chop our heads off and they were hanging on a tree. That's how you get your ornaments. You can Google this. You get your ornaments because if you disobey putting gifts underneath that tree, then you would go on that tree. And now, year after year after year, eventually we break. Eventually, you don't want your son to be on that tree. You don't want your son's head to be hanging on a tree. So what do? You raise him to be weak. You raise him to, you better bring gifts. You better do it. You better obey the master. Why? Because I love you so much that I don't want to see you live the life or to have the death of a rebel. I don't want to see you live that life. And now here we are, 2024, and we still do it. So to answer the question, is it unlawful if I want to go watch The Best Man 2 with all of the holiday stuff? It's not unlawful, but I'm not watching it during the holiday season. I'm not doing it. If you like eggnog for whatever reason, It's nothing unlawful with drinking eggnog, but I'm not drinking it during the holiday season. I'm not doing it. I'm not partaking into the Christmas party or the Halloween party. Is it unlawful to have a costume party? Is it unlawful to dress up like like Jason or Freddy or whatever and go to a party? I'm asking, is that unlawful? Go ahead.
I mean, so like,
Come on.
I would say bye,
Mhm.
as long as it's not during the Halloween season.
That's it. There's nothing unlawful. We could have a costume party tonight. Go dress up like you want to be Michael Jordan for the night. Go do it. You want to dress up like Yarmouth? Go ahead and do it. It's nothing unlawful with that. But during Halloween, we don't partake in the evils that the world is forcing on us. And in those days, you have to fight against yourself to go to that Halloween party.
Right.
You got to fight against yourself to go to that Christmas party. And I know that all the big executives is going to be there. And all of the people you want to make connections with is going to be there. But for you to partake in it, you're going to have to disobey our God. But then we'll wonder why we're strung out on drugs. We'll wonder why we can't have relationships that last for a lifetime. We'll wonder why. But it's because we go to Christmas parties. Understand? Is there any more on that? All right, next question. You can't see him?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, go ahead.
Sister Chanteray says, like you, sir, if you have the time, can I get a breakdown of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1?
Sure. Let's go. 1 Peter.
Chapter 3, verse 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands,
Mm-hmm.
that if any obey not the word,
Mhm.
they also may, without the word, be won by the conversations of the wives.
Mm-hmm. Let's break it down. Likewise. This is talking to who? Sisters.
Right.
You got a husband. The Bible says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband. What does that mean? What does it mean to be in subjection?
Like,
Come on.
that means to submit to him.
Yeah. Meaning what? You are subjecting to that person's control.
Right.
Right? He's the man who dominates you. He's your master. He's your mastery. He's the one that you go to for guidance, for help, with questions, and what he says goes. That's your husband. That's the man. Right? But when you're a girl, when you're getting raised up, who is the man that you subject to? Your father. You listen to your father. You understand? He tells you to do something, you do it. You trust him. When you have a problem and you have no husband, who do you call? You call daddy. You call pops. You need your oil changed and you need somebody to come look at the car. You call your father. Eventually, you leave your father and you cleave unto your husband. And now your husband becomes your daddy. Now he's the one you call daddy. Now he's the one that you listen to. That's why even in our ignorance and our oppressor's marriage, what do? That woman gets walked down the aisle while her father holds her hand and then hands her over to that other man. That signifies this. That signifies now you call him. Don't call me no more. You understand? Somebody break into your house, call your husband first. You having an issue with your car, call your husband first. I did my job. I raised you up, and now you have a husband. That is no longer my job. My job is spoil grandkids now. Now that's my job. Come on, keep reading.
Verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
While they behold your chats, conversation.
No, read it again. I think we skipped some.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
Mhm.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands,
Mm-hmm.
that if any obey not the word,
Mm-hmm.
they also may, without the word, be won by the conversation of the wives.
What does that mean? Get down. If any obey not in word, who is that talking about? Who is the if any?
It's like it.
Mm-hmm.
The wives.
Mm-mm.
It's like it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to husbands.
It's your husbands. Those men. This isn't a cult. We'll call it a cult. I remember when the school, I've been here for quite some time, and I remember back in the day where brothers would try to say that this was a cult. And I remember that there was a time where we would defend that. where we would say this is not a cult. This is the definition of a cult. We don't do anything like that in here. And I remember there became a time where it switched, where brothers would start saying, man, that's a cult that you in. And brothers would say, you know what? You're right. Damn right. That's a cult. I'm going to the cult class right now. You want to come? You want to come with me to the cult? And I remember then the brother, he dropped that song, Cult Leaders, and it was gone ever since. We've been cult leaders ever since, right? This isn't a cult. This isn't a cult. This isn't IUIC. This isn't some fake Israelite group where you're taught to disassociate from your family, where you're taught that you can only marry in here. Once you come in here, you can only marry a brother that's in this school. You can marry any effing body you want. Now, it may not be wise to, because if you marry a brother outside of the school, then you may be a wife who was righteous, who was seeking righteousness, but then you'll be stuck subjecting yourself unto a husband that does not believe, a husband that doesn't believe that it's a sin to put his hands on his wife, a husband that does not believe that sex is marriage, a husband that does not believe that using drugs and abusing drugs is a sin against God. And now you'll have to deal with it. You'll have to bear children by a man who thinks it's okay to smoke in front of the children, who think it's okay to give them secondhand smoke and let them drink alcohol and do whatever the hell else that they do in the world. So that would be unwise. However, it is still your choice. Now, this scripture is saying, what if you have a husband that does not obey the word? Keep going.
They also, they without the word, be won by the conversation of the wife. So even if they don't have the word, they can be won into the truth by how you behave yourself, by how you speak. You don't let your husband pull you into his ignorant life. You don't be that type of woman. You don't be the type of woman that says, well, you want to get ratchet, I'm going to get ratchet too. You be the type of woman that submits unto her husband, regardless if he's wrong. And by doing that, you can change him. There's a famous story in the school, a sister coming to class, wanting to be a part of the school for years, having to get counsel with Captain Tazariak because her husband hated the school, did not want her coming around. He thought that she was going to come in here and was going to have sex with a brother in here and do all kind of God knows what. But that sister took the counsel and she stayed strong. She kept coming to class. She kept making it to the Passover until one year she went to the Passover in New York. She came home with some extra lamb and bread from the event. And when her husband found it, he took the lamb and he threw it out the window in Philly, threw it out. That same brother is a high-ranking officer in the school today because she was diligent in the faith of the Lord. Because of how she behaved, eventually that brother started to question, where are you learning these things from? Who was teaching you this? Why are you behaving like this? And that's how the Lord worked. You understand? So now you win that brother by your conversation, by the way you speak, by the way you behave yourself. Keep going. Verse 2. While they behold your chats, conversation, coupled with fear. Keep going. Verse 3. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning, flattering the hair, and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel. Now break it down. Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel. What is this talking about? Like it. Talking about the outward appearance. Yes. You understand? This conversation, this chat, this behavior that this woman has, she is not boasting in it as if she's something special. She's not plaiting her hair. And is this saying that you can't plait your hair? Let's get that straight first. Is that what this is saying? Is this saying that you can't wear gold? Is this saying that a sister can't put earrings in her ear? It's not saying that. What this is talking about is her spirit. You understand? Her spirit is what needs to not be like these type of women who boast. And you know those women. The women who put on the super long nails, got every piece of jewelry they got the big ass baby fat earrings in their ear, and they boast. Their attitude
They put this apparel on. Why? Because they believe that they're the shit. They believe that I'm that bitch, and that's why I'm out here with the nails and doing all of this clank, 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 because I'm that whatever. Don't do that. There's nothing wrong with, adorning yourself. There's nothing wrong with getting your hair done, getting some jewelry that you like. But what is wrong is your spirit being filthy. And that's what this is talking about. Keep going. What was her question two? Mm-hmm.
She didn't need to break down.
What was her question two? What scripture was it to?
It was 1 Peter 3, 1 to 4.
4? Okay, good. Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible,
Mm-hmm.
even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit,
Mm-hmm.
which is in the sight of God, great price.
Meaning what? Your spirit, it should be hidden. Right? This is all this is talking about is your spirit. You don't want to be someone who boasts in what you believe you are, because in actuality, you're nothing. In actuality, you're a lot of people believe that they are somebody because they have the biggest chains or because their diamonds are real. And they allow that to get to them. Y'all met brothers like that in the world. They believe because they have the SRT or because they have the big house or a lot of money, that makes them something. When in actuality, you're nothing. And the Lord will show you that. The Lord will show you that when you're begging for your life on a hospital bed. He'll show you that when you lose your job or you lose your family. He'll show you just how much nothing you are. So again, there's nothing wrong with having nice things, but make sure that your spirit is kept. Make sure that you are the type of person that's meek in what he's doing. When you're a sister, be humble in what you're doing. Yeah, y'all some bad bros. Some bad sisters. Y'all damn sure better than them white women. When you go out there, you don't have to behave like you know it. Don't be like that. You could be the baddest in the room, but you don't have to carry yourself like you know it. Y'all some brothers, you've seen sisters like that. She knows she bad. She just knows she bad. Stuck up, snotty, yeah, but don't know how to stop celebrating Christmas. You can't get a goddamn vape pen out your mouth. You can't stop getting beat on. Them women like that, they go home and they get beat on by men. But they bad. They so bad they can't even choose a husband that isn't down low homosexual. That's the part that they don't show. That's the part of their life that they hide from you. The trauma that they constantly put themselves through. You want to not be that sister, then you come into these classes, you learn how to humble your spirit. You understand? But sis, I hope that answered your question. Next question. Any questions in the room? Now, y'all, you got anything? Don't make me be a Christian.
Not at the moment.
Y'all got it all figured out, huh? Y'all done figured out. Y'all getting into the kingdom. Y'all gonna teach me. All right. No sweat. Let's get into who the oppressor is. Come on. Yeah, Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1. Let's get into who the oppressor is. All right. And if anyone has any questions at any point in time, you can just ask. You can ask what the school is about. You can ask what we teach here. You can ask what being an Israelite is. Everybody in here knows that you're Israelites. Con? Who said that? Sis right here? You know. What about you two sisters? She's like, what the hell is that? All right. No sweat. What is an Israelite, Hawan? Mm-hmm.
So-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask y'all a question. If I was to ask you what your nationality was, what would you say? African American. Okay. What about you, sis? Mm-hmm. American. Okay. Brother, I know you know. Sis, what about you?
I'm black.
I'm black. All right, understand. Right. Most of us will have similar answers. I've actually heard people say I'm Christian before when asking them that question. All right. But let me ask you, if we are African American, this is online said Israelite, that would be the answer now, because we know, right? Before we knew the truth, we would consider ourselves to be either Negroes or African Americans, which that term was coined by Jesse Jackson in 1964. That the term African American is still new. It's a new thing, but it's not our nationality, right? You have two men who were English explorers. I think Africanus Lucipio. Come on. Mm-hmm.
It's
Judah, yeah.
Isupk Africanus, who was a Roman general, American Vespucci.
An American Vespucci, right? These were two conquerors or two explorers who conquered the land of what we know today as Africa, and they named it after him, a white man. And America was also named after, say his name again? Americo Vespucci. And now, because we're his slaves, now we consider ourselves to be what? African American. That's not our nationality. Like when I first heard this, it pissed me off. It pissed me off to realize that your history only dates back to slave ships, which is only 400 years ago. But your people have been on this earth for thousands of years, yet you have no idea about the history before slave ships. In your mind, your history is, well, I guess before slave ships, I guess we was monkeys or something in Africa. I don't know what we was doing. But we had to just be monkeys running around and fighting tigers and bears. You don't know nothing about your history. But that's because our nationality, give me the Psalms where it says they have consulted together to cut off the nation of Israel. Our nationality has been taken away from us because if we don't know who we are, then we can never begin to fix ourselves. We will never begin to know that we have to go to this manual. We don't know because we think that this book was written for the white man. We think that it's written for the oppressor, and it is not. You understand? This book was written for us. Come on, Psalms 83:3.
Mm-hmm. Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. Mm-hmm. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Go to verse 2.
Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
So now, thousands of years ago, and again, if I lose y'all, just stop me. I'll try to explain it. But thousands of years ago, you had a people like what you see today. And through those people, you had prophets, you had men who conquered the earth, conquered the world, who were prophets, who told about prophecies and so on and so forth. And eventually, we became a nation of people. We had leaders like Moses, leaders like Joshua. And as we're becoming a nation of people, the world started to realize something that they know today that you don't, that the Lord was with us. When we were in slavery in Egypt, the Most High flooded the Red Sea, opened the Red Sea, and then flooded it on the Egyptians just so that we could be free. Just so we can be free. You understand? Like that's a type of power that is what? Unfair. It's unfair. Imagine being Chinese and damn, you got to fight with these niggas and their God will wash me up in a sea. They don't fight with swords and axes. They have a God that'll literally bring a hurricane and wipe out our whole army. They have a God that'll send a plague and turn our water into blood and send locusts. That's what we're dealing with. So they know what? That they cannot fight us head up. They knew that they could not go to war with the nation of Israel. They had to be crafty. They had to figure out ways to kill the native Indians. They had to figure out ways to give them smallpox because they know that we're stronger than them. We've always been. And so now these nations, they come together. Keep reading.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Keep going.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel.
So now they consult with each other, the Germans, the Italians, the Russians, the Japanese, Moab and Ammon, the Koreans, the Amalekites. You understand? They take counsel against us because they cannot fight us with the Lord when the Lord is with us. Keep going.
Against thy people.
Against our what?
Against thy people.
Keep going.
And consulted against thy hidden.
Verse
4. They have said, come and let us cut them off.
So they said, come and let us cut them off. Cut the nation of Israel off. Keep going.
From being a nation.
From being a nation. So now you have no idea what the hell an Israelite is. You heard us say it the first time, you said, what in the fuck is these niggas talking about? You have no idea, and it is not by coincidence. It's by design that you don't know. It's by design that you read about these people and you look at what they do and you say, well, damn, it sounds like these is niggas, but they can't be. It sounds like niggas in this book, but I've been taught my whole life that Paul was white. I've been taught my whole life that Peter was a white man, that Christ was white. So how it doesn't really sound like it. It sounds like they go through the same thing that we going through. But I guess this is somehow white people. It's by design that way that we were not taught these records and taught who we were. Keep going.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, so that we won't know who our ancestors were. Come on.
So I was trying to think how I wanted to frame this this question, right? It came up. I'm gonna try to, if you could, let me know your take on it.
No sweet.
So okay, I was listening to a piece, by Command General as far as the scriptures say, put your wife or child or this and that, before me that you're not worthy of me. So he was giving an analogy of, you might want to go to your son football, on a camp day. And, but, going to fight for the nation is more, important. Because there might be some brother or sister about to die or, drug overdose or, whatever the case may be. So it made me think to myself, like, we wake up every day as men, like even then you're talking about our enemies. So, the enemy, we should be at war. And we more concerned about every day waking up, going to work, and having money. You know what I'm saying? Some of us willing to commit crime. That's where our mind really at. You understand? But meanwhile, we at war. We trying to make money. To take care of our mind. Please the woman and be up underneath the woman and things of that nature. So it's like, what is it that is allowing us, to get up every day and allow for our mindset to be set on that instead of where it really should be set? Because our mind should really be set on fighting this war and fighting this battle. But every day we getting up worried about how much money we gonna make, taking care of the wife, taking care of the kids, and I don't got enough money today. So I'm ready to do this and I'm ready to do that to get it.
Your lack of faith. That's all. That's all Black people suffer from. We've been beaten down so much. You got to think about the trauma that Black people have been through. You understand what Black women have been through. Black men at some point, 200 years ago, we used to have to suffer watching our women get raped right in front of us. They had no power to do anything about it. Women had to watch. You understand, like back then, women would not want a strong Black man, a strong Black man. They wouldn't, like they would want him, but they would know, I can't be with you. I can't be with you because my heart is going to tear into pieces when that white man takes you and buck break you in front of everybody and split you apart to make all the other men become weak. And my heart is going to hurt because my man is the one who was strong. You got to think about how many brothers did we watch hang from trees? How many times did they take the babies out of our sisters' stomachs and use them as alligator bait? We have gotten broken down so much that we can never believe that there's a power that'll fight for us like he did in Exodus, like he did in Egypt. And so because it's so hard to believe, then we'll take the back seat when it comes to serving him. A lot of us, because of the Christian church, we believe that people want to serve God. We believe it. We convinced ourselves that we're serving God. When in actuality, when you're in a church, how many of you have consciously done anything for God? When you go into the church, you walk in there, you sit down, you listen, and then you leave. How many of you change your life? How many of you stop getting on the stripper pole? How many of you stop selling drugs? Stop smoking weed? None of us. You know why? Because for what? What I'm gonna stop selling drugs for? So that I can be oppressed and die, poor, not have a roof over my head, not have food in my stomach? We don't have faith that the Lord is with us. And when you are oppressed as much as Black people have been oppressed, then you have no necessity of serving God, but you do have a necessity of getting money. You got to remember this. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. When we left Egypt, we were enslaved in Egypt. We were being mistreated, forced into slavery, into hard labor. We had to build the pyramids or die. Eventually, there comes a time where Moses has a meeting and says, you know what? It's time for Black people to wake up. It's time for us to wake up and get out of this captivity. And some believed, and some didn't. Moses leads us out of this captivity. And then after we leave the captivity, what did the majority of us want to do? After we got up out of Egypt, I mean, we just watched Moses split the Red Sea. Come on. We wanted to go back. We wanted to go back to that 9 to 5. Why? Because we grew a dependency on our oppressor. We grew a dependency on him. Today, you could never imagine. You couldn't imagine waking up and 911 doesn't work anymore. There is no hospitals anymore. There is no EBT or food stamps or Walmart or McDonald's. Can you imagine what the world would be like for you and your family? You sitting here with 3 kids and there is no McDonald's. Now, what do? Now you're going to have to do something that you never wanted to do because of oppression. You have to depend on a man now if you're a sister. There ain't no more police. Now you're going to have to watch your mouth. You ain't going to kick that man out that house now because you need him there to protect that house. But because of our dependency on our oppressor, we've allowed him to make us into savages. We've allowed him to turn us into something ugly, something that the Lord has never wanted us to be. And as a brother, you're going to go out there and you're going to struggle and then try to get money to try to provide for your family because you have a dependency on the Lord. I mean, on your oppressor. And that's why we can never imagine doing the work that we do in here. The reason why you in here is because you have faith, God. That's why you in here. All of us can leave here. It's 7 o'clock at night. We could all be out getting some money somewhere, partying somewhere, drinking somewhere, having a time of our life. But yet we in here talking about this book, talking about the Lord. Why? Because we have faith that this can fix us. We believe that one day, as we sitting in this small, ugly schoolroom, this living room turned into a school, that one day it'll grow. It'll grow. I've seen it happen personally. I've been in a room just about as big as this on Eva Street in Durham, where there was no Isupk, North Carolina. And we had faith that one day we would go, now look at the Durham school. Now look at the Charlotte school. Now look at Fayetteville. And here we are trying to do it again out here. We have to have faith that the Lord is going to fight for us. Otherwise, you'll have faith that the 9 to 5 will save you. And it ain't. It never will. I hope that answered your question. Next question. Oh, scripture, right? Where was we at?
Verse 5, Psalm 83.
Go back to where we was at before that. So they wanted to cut us off. They don't want us to remember who we are, because if we remember who we are, then we'll go back to our identity. Black women will start to wake up and say, hold on, we ain't supposed to be sleeping with no white men. We ain't supposed to be doing this. My ancestors died at the hands of our oppressors. I would never give my body up into somebody who reaped the benefits of hanging my fathers from trees. I would never do it if we had an identity. But because we don't know who the fuck we are, we don't care about who we sleep with. We don't care if we sleep with some Chinese woman. We don't give a damn about who we are. But you know who does? Them Chinese parents, they care. They care about you sleeping with them niggas. Them Africans, they teach their daughters every single day to not come to America and sleep with the kata. Don't talk to the kata. They know that they have to keep their lineage protected. They have to keep their cultures. They have to. And when you start to give up your culture, when you start to forget your identity, then your lineage it'll fall. Chinese people ain't doing that. You Chinese, they're gonna teach you about the Beijing Empire, the terracotta armies, the warriors, the Shaolin temples. Thousands of years ago, they have their history. To this day, they still make their women wear size 4 shoes so they can give them a lotus foot. That's their culture. And it matters. It just doesn't matter for us. Understand? Read where we was at.
Look,
Mhm.
look, Psalms chapter 83, verse 40.
Mhm.
They have said, come, let us cut them off for being a nation.
Then I had a scripture before that, right? Go back to Obadiah. Now, we are the nation of Israel. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in case you didn't know. Right? Everybody here knows who Abraham is, right? Abraham had a son named Isaac. Isaac had two sons. Isaac had Jacob and Esau. Give me that, I think in Genesis. The birth of Jacob and Esau.
Sluggy, sir.
Come on.
I had a question. Basically, as far as fake Israelites, why do they consider Esau as a black person? Because they'll say, well, Esau is not the white man. He your brother right next to you. That's just something I just don't understand. How could they paint that picture for us?
I mean, for sure, I would be done breakdown. I never heard of that. Esau is not your brother. Understand? The Lord said, we're going to read it now. I mean, you know, a lot of questions that Christians and people have, the Bible answers it, in case y'all didn't know, right? The answers to your question is in the book. You just got to open it and read it. But fake Israelites, I can't begin to understand half the things fake Israelites do. Did y'all see the video of the fake Israelite camp in St. Louis where they were trying to, man, and that nigga came and took the microphone out his hand?
Yeah, I just seen that video.
I can't. You cannot pay me to understand why fake Israelites do the dumb that they do. But no sweat. Go ahead and read the scripture.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac.
Just go down to the verse of Esau and Jacob being born. Esau being born.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over.
So now this is describing the birth. Remember, before this, Rebecca, who was the wife of Isaac, she was pregnant. But while she was pregnant, she was in so much pain she couldn't understand it. She didn't understand. She said it felt like people were having a war in my stomach. And so she inquired of the Lord, and the angel told her husband that what was in her, give me that. We need that. Give me verse 23 or 24.
Okay. Book of Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Read verse 20, a verse up.
Okay. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. She said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So now they're fighting with each other inside of her. And she said, why am I in this much pain? Why is it like this? Keep going.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So now, these 2 babies, the Lord is saying that these are going to be 2 nations of people, 2 separate nationalities. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people.
And the manner of them, the mannerisms will be completely different. Right? Keep going.
Shall be separated from thy mouth.
They shall be separated. So yes, they are brothers. Jacob and Esau are twins. They are brothers. They kinfolk. But the Lord separated them. Keep going.
Okay. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And now one of the people that comes from one of these babies, they're going to be stronger. They're going to be naturally more faster, naturally stronger because they're black. They're going to be LeBron James. They're going to be Michael Jordan. They're going to be the people that when you really sit back and think about it, you say, damn, how the hell did white people conquer us? When you look at them and they wear them suits and ties and they play them bagpipes and they're like, hey, Charles. You look at them and then you look at niggas and niggas is gangsters and kill every goddamn thing on the block. You'll start to question, how did they beat us? Keep going.
And the elder shall serve the young.
But the prophecy is that the elder, the first baby who's born, is going to serve the younger brother. Keep going.
Okay, verse 24. And were her days to be delivered were fulfilled. Behold, there were twins in her womb.
So now she had this inquiring of the Lord, but now that she was the babies came, she said, oh, it was exactly what she was told. It was twins in her womb. Keep going.
Verse 25. And the first came out red.
And the first came out what?
Came out red.
First came out red. He was red. Just like who today? If you watch a white baby be born, they are red. That's why they call them what down in the Hicks? They call them rednecks. You understand? Because their blood portrays through their skin because they lack melanin. So this baby comes out red and it's weird, which is why it's being mentioned because all the other babies, they don't come out red, but this one came out red. Keep going.
All over, like a hairy garment.
And all over was hairy. Gillette Fusion. What's the other commercials they talk about? Manscape, Dollar Shave Club. Come on, Nadia.
Sasquatch commercials.
The Sasquatch commercials. Y'all think that's for us? You think them commercials is for brothers? Nah, that's for them. I remember the first time I seen a white man with hair on his fingers. I did not understand that. I said, "How the hell you got hair on your knuckles? Hair all down their back." My basketball coach was a hairy mug, boy. Hair everywhere. We do shirts and skins. We used to say, man, it's like you still got a shirt on. Cheating. But they so hairy, so red. And this is who they are. Keep going.
And they called his name Esau.
And he was Esau. He's the oldest. He was here first. Keep going.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother.
And now Jacob is coming out. Keep going.
And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
And his hand grabbed Esau, right? Signifying what? That one day Esau's kingdom will fall. And when Esau's kingdom falls, then Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. Then Israel kingdoms will follow right behind it. Keep going.
His name was called Jacob.
And that was Jacob. Keep going. Now, I want y'all to understand something. What color was Jacob?
Like it, man.
Come on.
It
doesn't mention it. You know why? Because Jacob looked like everybody else. He had melanin. He was brown just like all the other people. But the Esau came out red, which made him look different, which was why they mentioned it, because it was different. Keep going.
And Isaac was 70 years old when she bare him. Verse 27. And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter.
So now, as they get older, their mannerisms start to show. And Esau, who we know today is the white man, he became a cunning hunter. He went up in them woods. He got that elk piss and rubbed it all over himself. He went and made that little thing. That y'all seen them whistles that I guess sound like a duck that they created. They were, man. Look, listen, the white man is gonna get you. Like, I know every time we think about hunters, we think about them hunting elks and deers and alligators and stuff like that. How many of y'all ever had to run from the white man because of child support? You got a warrant for your arrest. They know how to get you. One of America's most top shows as well, America's Most Wanted. It's a show because for them, it's sport. It's sport to go and hunt you down, right? It's sport. They know how to catch you on the highways like it's a damn science. They'll get you. And that's who they are. It's who they've always been. Keep going.
A man of the field.
And a man of the field. They always out there in the woods, always out there working in the dirt, getting dirty. That's who they are. Keep going.
And Jacob was a plain man.
But now Jacob, this little nigga here, just like y'all, he was playing. He ain't doing too much. Well, every time y'all see black people, you say, "What's going on up?" I don't say shit, staying alive. Shit, ain't doing too much. Chilling, cooling, White people, come on, man, we're about to go bungee jumping this weekend, man. Come on. Don't you want to take a shot out of a boot, man? Don't you want to rage? Don't you want to rave and rage? Come on, bro. Kill my mom. They are just always doing something. Always into something. God damn. Black man just want to, come on, bro. I just want to play the NCAA 25. I'm chilling. We can go get a drink or something, man. But after that, cool. All right, keep going.
Dwelling in tents.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 28.
Dwelling in tents, meaning what? We ain't sleeping outside. Even back then, I ain't sleeping outside at all. We got to have a house. We got to have a floor. It got to be clean. Because we ain't no caveman. Keep going.
Verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac loved Esau
Mm-hmm.
because he did eat of his venison.
Mm-hmm.
But Rebekah loved Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob stopped pottage.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau came from the field.
So eventually, without going through the whole scripture, eventually the birthright, our laws is that the birthright is supposed to go to the eldest son. But in this case, the Lord saw fit to give the birthright to Jacob. And Esau, the white man, he sold it. Who can guess what he sold it for? Raw meat. He sold it for raw meat, uncooked meat. Who eats uncooked meat today? I'm not making this up. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if y'all ever had a boyfriend, a black man, who said they want to eat some raw meat, like the Liver King. White people do. You understand? Is there any more on that? He sold his birthright for raw meat. You understand? Hold on one second. Right, for raw meat. And our mother Rebecca, we took the birthright, and now we were given, you understand, the kingdom of heaven, or the nation of Israel. Eventually, Jacob, he wrestled with an angel, and he fought with that angel. And after he was done fighting, his name was changed to Israel. And then Jacob, by the use of his four wives, not one, but his four wives, he began to give birth, or to birth the children of Israel. He had 12 sons. You understand? Naphtali, Judah, Gad, Issachar, Zebulun, Manasseh, Benjamin, Levi. He started to have these sons, right? And those sons became the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. That's where we come from. That's why we're here. If you go into the Bible, it gives descriptions about who these people are, right? If you look at Issachar, it says that Issachar is like the ass, the mule, the donkey. And Issachar is him that find the shade underneath a tree. That's Mexicans. Mexicans are Issacharites today. They work and work and work. And then when you go past them orange fields, what will you always see? You see a Mexican with a big old straw hat chilling underneath the tree, getting some shade. That's them in the Bible. This one blew my mind. How many of y'all know, guess who has the most oil on the earth? What country? Let's take a guess. What would y'all think? There's always oil wars somewhere. Don't say the answer if you know it. Who has the most oil? The Middle East. That's what generally people would say. Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, they over there fighting for that oil. And they are, which is why you would think the Middle East. But who actually has the most oil in the whole world? Anybody know? It's one country. I'll give you a hint. The Bible says that this tribe of people, his foot would be dipped in oil, meaning the ground that he walked on would be flooded with oil. And there is a country that is not in the Middle East that is flooded with oil. This blew my mind when I first heard it. I did not believe this. If you know the answer, you can say it. Sis said South America. Close. Come on. Venezuela. Venezuela. And the Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken, are the tribe of Asher. that it says that Asherites' foot would be dipped in oil. Asher is Venezuelans today, and they have the most oil on the face of the planet Earth. And so now, right, man, we could go into this all day. All day. It talks about how Judah would fight each other. And that's all we would do is fight each other. And that's all Black people do. We talk about LeBron and Kobe. We talk about Jordan and Magic. We talk about the Lakers. We talk about, Black people is like damn near the only people. Think about it. Black people is the only people on the earth that you know of that'll argue something that is inarguable, like music. Music is an art, right? There is no way to argue whether my song that I like is better than your song that you like. It is art. It is in the eye of the beholder. If I could like a song that no one would ever talk about, but it could be my favorite song of all times, you can't tell me that the song sucks. You can't. I like it. But Black people will damn near kill each other over it. We'll fight over anything. You understand? It talks about the Benjamites and how the Benjamites, their tribe is of the wolf. How the Benjamites will leave and work from afar and bring their goods back to the pack. What do Jamaicans do today? Well, they come up here. They come up here and work, and then they send all their money back to Jamaica to their family. These things are in the Bible. These records are of who we are, what we're like, what binds us together is in this book. Also, who the white man is in here too. Give me Obadiah 1:1. Sis said Brazil. No, not Brazil. Venezuela, the Asherites.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning you.
So now we know who. So now we know who Israel is, who we are. Now let's figure out who the oppressor is. Right? Keep reading.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Right? This is a prophecy of something that is going to happen. Keep going.
Arise, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Remember, Obadiah is Esau. Right? That's why it says, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Esau is of the nation of Edom, right? Or Idumea, which means he that is wasted away. Because the white man is nothing but a vagabond. That's in the Bible. A vagabond is a person who, let's go with it. Let me see, let's get the correct. Let's get the correct definition. A person who wanders from place to place without a home or job or culture. And that is the white man. He'll just wander. He'll just come to America and take over this place. He'll live in the Caucasus Mountains and take over this, but he has no home, right? Which is why, a lot of people say they need to go back to the mountains where they come from. But this is talking about him, he that is wasted away. Keep going.
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
And this day, the Lord is going to make Esau small among the heathen. Keep going.
Thou art greatly despised.
And that's America today. They are greatly despised. When you look at the French, when you look at China, when you look at Germany, they all hate America. Everybody hates America, but America is such a superpower that they can't do nothing about it. But this concerning Edom in this day, they're going to be made small amongst the heathen. Right? Keep going.
Verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
The pride of thine heart. Make America great again. The home, the proud, the Marines, home of the free. They're so prideful in everything that they do. You understand? Before we finish, let me ask you a question. What is America's bird? What? Go ahead, Nadia. The sis said it, right? What was Rome's bird? Not even just their bird. What was their symbol? What did they use to signify Rome? Anybody know?
The eagle.
Bald eagle. Let's see. What about Babylon? What about them? The eagle. They've used the eagle for thousands of years to represent them. Why? Because the eagle is pride. It symbolizes pride. Nothing flies above the eagle. The eagle always flies so high and looks down on its prey. And that's how Rome was built. That's how the dukes were built. That's how the Damascus was built. The Colosseums were built by being so high above its prey and then just slaughtering everything beneath it. And to this day, America uses the eagle. Remember, these records was written thousands of years ago. You understand? Can you pick up from where he's at in Obadiah chapter 1 and 3?
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Juan, you can pick back up, man.
Right, sir.
The water, come.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Uh-huh.
Thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock.
So now they dwell in the clefts of the rock. They're cavemen. You understand? Keep going.
Whose habitation is high.
Whose habitation is high. The Bible talks about how our infrastructure, how our buildings would be. Our buildings would never, in the new kingdom, you ain't gonna see skyscrapers. It ain't gonna exist. You understand? Our buildings will be 1 to 2 stories. You understand? Flat. That's how our kingdom would be. But his habitat, he wants to go up. He wants to go up and up and up because his pridefulness makes him want to reach the heavens. He wants to go and be with God. He wants to create the NASA space program or the Space Force so that he can go and fight God. That's why he has such an infatuation. Like, if you don't notice, the white man has such an infatuation with Doomsday, with Independence Day. He has such an infatuation with there being some extraterrestrial being out there that we don't know, that we don't understand. And he's going to fight him. And in the movie, he always does. He always wins. He always wins when he fights these aliens, when he fights these things. The oppressor knows these records. He knows that there is something up there that is going to crack that sky open, just like the Avengers movie. And he's going to have to go to war. Right? Keep going.
That saith in his heart,
Mm-hmm.
who shall bring me down to the ground?
Who's going to bring down Donald Trump? Who's going to bring down the great country of America? The USA. We run everything, run the Olympics, we run the world. America is the superpower of the earth. And who is going to bring it down? China? Russia? Palestine? No. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt exalt thyself as the eagle.
Hold on now. We just said it. The oppressor, he said his nation's bird is the bald eagle. You go look at that flag on the top of the flag. Is the chaff of the flag is an eagle with its wings. You look at a dollar bill, and that eagle is right there. But the Lord said, though you exalt yourself as the eagle, keep going.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
And though you set your nest among the stars, you go up there and you set up them satellites. I know the white, he think he doing something, don't he? He got them satellites. He got that NASA space program. He got them rocket ships. He breaking into the ozone layer. I know the Lord said, I see you, devil. Keep going.
Thence will I bring thee down.
The Lord gonna bring him down. You understand? The Lord is going to bring the oppressor down to the ground. You understand? Keep going.
Said the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
If thieves came to thee,
Mm-hmm.
if robbers by night.
Give me Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. And then Joel chapter 2. Isaiah. Actually, no. I want Isaiah. Hold that. Give me Jeremiah 16 and 16. We want Isaiah. Go ahead, read what you got.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord. Shall fish them.
And so now in this day, the Lord is sent for many fishers. And that's who we are today. This has all come full circle. That's who we are today. We fishmen. That's why we don't go out here and try to take up arms against the oppressor. We don't go and try to go to war with him, because that's not how we fight. Today we fish. We go out here and we teach brothers and sisters how to change your life, how to serve the Most High, how to get the Lord to be on our side. If you read the book of Second Ezra, Ezra prayed to the Lord. He said, "Look not upon the sins of thy people, but look upon us who serve thee in truth, because there is so few of us who would serve the Lord." And he prayed that the Lord would spare the nation of Israel because of us. That has happened so many times throughout the Bible. It happened during the time of Lot and Sodom and Gomorrah, where Abraham prayed. He said, "Well, if there's 70 people in the city, would you spare the city?" He couldn't find 70. He said, "Well, if it's 50 people, would you spare?" He couldn't find 50. All the way down to 5. Abraham said, "Well, Lord, please, if there's 5 people in here who's righteous, would you spare the city?" The Lord could only find one, which was Lot. He told Lot and his family to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and he rained brimstone from the sky and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. History fact. Where was Sodom and Gomorrah today? A lot of people don't know this.
Salagi, sir.
Come on.
The Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea. You want to know why the salt content is so high in the Dead Sea? It's because the Lord rained brimstone from sky. And that's where it was. That was Sodom and Gomorrah. Now it's underwater. You understand? But now, keep going.
And after will I send for many hundreds.
And so after the Lord destroys America, he's going to send for hunters. Now our job title will change. You understand? Keep going.
They shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill,
and out of the holes of the rocks. Why? Like man, the Lord is he's like the greatest director of the greatest movie ever. And y'all are in it. Y'all are in the movie. And like this whole time, if you think about it, with reincarnation, we know that you never escape judgment. And the Bible said what? That you have to pay for the crimes of your fathers. Meaning Abraham Lincoln ain't here no more. George Washington ain't here no more. They done dead and gone. They never got to pay for the slavery that they put on us. But there's going to come a time where they're going to have to pay. And in that day, just think about the dynamic of American citizens. Just think about this. You got certain white people who are in power that if you looked at them, you say, yeah, those are the devils. Those are the ones, the government officials, the highly elect, the rich, the Donald Trumps and the Margaret Sangers and so on and so forth. Those are the devils. And then you got the white people who was low class. They live in the trailer parks. They live out here in Goldsboro, live out here. You see them, and they ain't really making no decisions to make you be oppressed. They just out here living, using drugs and being white. This is so beautiful in that in this day, when the Lord destroys America with nuclear warfare, all them regular white people, they're gonna die. That's it. They're gonna from existence and they'll be reborn again in the next life. But who's going to be alive? Who knows? Come on. Well, I hope Lord allow us. But talking about the white people, who's gonna be alive?
Sluggy, sir.
Oh, sis said it. Come on, say it again. Rich. You know what they're gonna be? They're gonna be in them bunkers. They're gonna be in them $1 million bunkers, and they gonna make it through that nuclear warfare. They're gonna make it through. And then they're gonna hear a knock on the door. It's gonna be us. None of this is magical. The new kingdom that Christ is going to bring, it's not gonna come out of the sky. That's in the Bible. It's not going to come down from out of the sky. We have to build it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but we've been in slavery for 400 years. I'm not building a goddamn thing. So who's going to build it? The rich. Donald Trump, he going to build it. He going to get on his hands and his knees. He going to do it. And all the other poor white folk who really didn't have much to do with nothing, they're going to be reborn. They have died, but they ain't going to have to, but Donald Trump, he going to get on, he going to build it. You understand? The Rockefellers, they gonna build it. They gonna get up in them cotton field. Who? Elon Musk. He gonna get up in that cotton field and he gonna build it with all of his money, with all of his wealth, with all of his resources. We gonna get him from out of the rocks. We gonna go up into the mountains. We gonna get him from out of them hills, from out of them bunkers. They selling them right now, the $1 million bunkers. You got $1 million, you can go buy a bunker. It ain't gonna save them. Keep going.
Verse 17.
Mhm.
For my eyes
Mhm.
are upon all their ways.
Because the Lord see everything that they've done. Keep going.
They are not hid from my face.
Mhm.
Neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
The Lord ain't gonna forget. Not gonna forget what they did to Sandra Bland. Not gonna forget what they did to Emmett Till with Trayvon Martin. The Lord ain't gonna forget. Not gonna forget what they did to us in our Syria. They did to us in the Maccabees, to that woman, that mother and her 7 sons who they mutilated and tortured and fried in frying pans just because we didn't eat pork. The Lord ain't gonna forget that woman. If the Lord forgot that woman, then the Lord would be an unjust God. But the God of the Bible is just. He does have judgment, and he does give us righteousness and justice. And he's gonna give it. You understand? Keep going.
13.
Mhm.
And first, I will recompense their iniquity and their sin.
Meaning what? The Lord gonna pay them back for their sin and their iniquity double. Everything they've done to us, they're gonna get it done to them double. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that black people is going to get the chance to rape white women. It's not what we're gonna do. You understand? We're not going to cut the babies out of white women's stomach and use it for alligator bait, because that's not how we are. That's not that. Let them be wicked. Let them be cruel. And I'm only saying this because this is another fake Israelite thing that I've heard. That they believe that they're gonna take white women and put I ain't gonna say it. They be saying some crazy stuff. Do not listen to fake Israelites. I'm trying to tell you. I've heard some crazy stuff that they believe that we're gonna be doing. They're like, yeah, you're gonna be able to just rape all the white women that you want. Nigga, that is crazy, but no sweat. Right, keep going.
Because they have defiled my land.
Huh?
They have filled my inheritance
Mhm.
with the carcasses
Mhm.
of the detestable and abominable things.
They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. You understand? Meaning they corrupted the land. The Bible says when the wicked are in rulership, the earth mourns. But when the righteous are in rulership, the earth will rejoice. Give me Joel chapter 2. We're gonna end here. Joel chapter 2, you start at verse 1.
Book of Joel chapter 2, verse 1.
Mhm.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion,
Mhm.
and sound the alarm in my holy mountain.
Mhm.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble,
Mhm.
for the day of the Lord cometh.
For the day of the Lord cometh. How many of y'all growing up ever heard of Christ's return or the day of the Lord or something like that? You know, hear your grandmother talk about it. It's a very common concept. Or the rapture. Y'all ever heard of the rapture? That is nasty. Any of y'all know what the rapture means? Come on. Yeah, this is coming into the truth, man. This is off topic, but coming into the truth is it's so hilarious at times where it's like, damn, our whole life we're talking about rapture. And nobody, you don't even know why you're saying it. Go ahead.
This is the Oxford Language Dictionary meaning for rapture.
Mhm.
A feeling of intense pleasure or joy.
Yeah, it's just an orgasm. Our whole life, y'all been talking about Christ coming back. The orgasm. I don't even, it's a pause, man. That's crazy. Yeah. That's a Christian church for you. But no sweat. Go ahead and keep reading.
For it is not at hand.
For it is nigh at hand. The day that we're waiting on is close. You understand? The day that Christ returns. Remember, the disciples asked Christ before he left, how should we know of thy return? How will we know that you're coming back? And Christ said that in those days you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and there shall be turbulence and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. We just had an earthquake in New Jersey with a Richter scale of 4.3, something that doesn't happen. You understand? We're hearing about wars. The Bible say that, behold, woe 1 and woe 2 has passed, and behold, woe 3 cometh quickly. World War 1 passed, World War 2 passed, World War 3 will be here. And the Bible prophesies of how the rain of fire is going to rain from the sky, and the tongue shall melt inside of thy mouth, and thy eyes shall from melt inside of thy sockets, because we're gonna melt, not us, Lord allow, but we're gonna melt from nuclear warfare. All of this is in the Bible, and that time is here. We are living in the last days as we speak. Keep going.
Verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess.
And that day is going to be bad. It's going to be a bad day. I know that Christians, they sing "Oh Happy Day," "Oh Happy Day," because of their ignorance. And this day is not going to be happy. You understand? Keep going.
A day of clouds and of thick darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains.
So now just imagine you living in a valley, and a cloud, dark cloud is over encompassing the city. That's all you'll see. You understand? Keep going.
A great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like. Neither shall be any more after.
And now in this day, it's like so much, man. But in this day, when Christ comes back, those who have been elected to go into those chairs, those who in the Bible said to make your election sure, you was in the truth. You changed your life. You showed the Most High that I'm with you. Those would get taken up, and then now we would be a people that the world has never seen before. Keep reading.
Even to the years of many generations. Verse 3. A fire devoured before them, and behind them is a flame burning.
So meaning everything around us is going to be on fire. The Bible says that America, the land of the North, the scriptures say this, that in that day, the world won't talk about the Lord that freed the children of Israel from Egypt, but the people shall talk about the Lord which freed the nation of Israel from the land of the North. That's talking about North America, where we are today. You understand? That was when this was written. This was written after Egypt, after Moses and the Exodus had taken place. After that, we haven't been relieved from any major captivity since then. But we are here in the land of the North. Keep going. In which the Bible says that we were served there for 400 years. It's also in the Bible. Keep going.
The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them, a desolate wilderness.
Meaning what? In front of us is the kingdom of heaven. We just got to go take it. And behind us is nothing. You understand? The life that we used to live, the world we used to inhabit is destroyed. It's gone. Ain't no more going back to that AKA organization. Ain't no more going back to that Christian church. It's done. Keep going.
Yea, and nothing shall escape them. Verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Meaning
they'll run as fast as horses. Keep going.
Verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of flame of fire and devour the stubble. As a strong people set in battle array.
Keep going.
Verse 6. Before their face, the people shall be much pain.
So when we look at these people, we're going to see so much pain on their face. Read that next part.
Okay. All faces shall gather black.
Why is their faces going to gather blackness? I want to take a guess. Just imagine after all of this is taking place. Hold on 1 second. I know you know Nadia, but we're gonna look at these people, and their face is gonna be pain, and it's gonna be black all over their face. Why? Go ahead, Nadia. For time's sake, you got it.
From the soot and the smoke, sir.
Because when bombs drop and buildings crumble, if you ever seen them videos of 9/11, then you can imagine this. That pain that's on their face and that black from the concrete, the soot that gathers on their face from the fires that's happening. That's what we're going to look like. I mean, that's what it's going to look like in that day. Keep going.
Verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war.
And we shall climb the wall like men of war. But Tom said we ain't going to go through all of this. You understand? But this, like these scriptures right here is very important to understand, so you can understand what we're doing here, especially for brothers. Our whole life we've been in a Christian church, and we've been taught that to be a man of God, that you had to be soft. You had to be soft spoken. You had to put that woman first. You had to go to the church and wear a suit and tie and this, that, and the third. When the Bible don't say shit about that ever. It talks about men of war. It talks about men getting ready to be in an army of the Lord. It talk about having your woman to be in subjection. It talk about not following after the heathens, not being in the Christian church, not listening to the pastors in Jeremiah 23 and verse 25. That's what the Bible says. But because we don't read this book, because we go to the church and we settle for a dance, we settle for the vibe, the way that the church makes us feel, that's what we love that. The Bible say, say unto the seers, see not, and say unto the prophets, prophesy lies and speak smooth things. We don't want to hear the truth. Come on. Go ahead.
Let's look at Romans chapter 10, verse 3. Mm-hmm. For they being ignorant of God's mm-hmm. and going about to establish their own righteousness, mm-hmm. have not submitted themselves into the righteousness of God. And what? Your whole life you thought that you were serving the Most High. And you don't know. How many of y'all still in here? Try to catch it. I know y'all I know they some gangsters over here. They be stealing and killing everybody. All right. But a lot of people, you'll say that being a thief is just immoral. And you're a Christian. But then you'll go to church and you'll sit beside another Christian and he steals. What's the problem here? You have a group of people who think they're serving the Lord, but they only set their own morality based off of whatever the hell they want it to be. You think that being a liar is immoral because you don't want to be a liar. But the person beside you, he gonna lie to you. And he still thinks that he's a child of God. You think that because you give to the poor, that makes you a child of God, or because you did this or you don't do that, that makes you a child of God. When we're supposed to judge that by how we follow these laws, how we follow the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how we know who are the children of God are and who is not. The Christian church is full of people who are not serving the Lord. They are serving Satan. They are in there serving the devil. The Christianity is nothing but white supremacy. Why? Because when you go into that church, it teaches you to forgive your oppressors for what they've done to your people. It teaches you to turn the other cheek. And even though the oppressor has destroyed you, has blown up your churches, has unalived your children, we still got to thank God for the little bit of bread we have today. Ain't that right? Can I get an amen? And now you in that church and you went in there and you were so upset about police brutality. You were so upset about oppression. And then you go into that church and then you leave. And then now you just, well, you heard what Pastor Jenkins said, man. We got to be thankful about the little bit that we do have. We're going to go out here and we're going to try to live a good life. And we're going to try. And the next week, your brother going to get unalived by some racist cop. And then you'll be right back in church doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, to figure it all out, all you got to do is just ask yourself, who set up the church? Who set it up? Who made Christian pastors? It couldn't have been us. We was enslaved. We were slaves. It won't no niggas doing their own thing. The oppressor, he took this Bible, he made what they call the slave Bible, where he took out, I don't know how many books, like 126 books out the Bible. All of Deuteronomy was taken out of here. And he gave that book to you and made those pastors read scriptures like obey your master, obey your earthly masters. Turn the other cheek. God loves everybody. God is full of grace and love. And he gave this us so that the pastors could pacify the people, to stop the people from wanting to rebel against the oppression. And you got brothers like Nat Turner, who he found these books. He went to those caves and he started studying. And when he found out what was really in this book, he found out that he was from the children of Israel and that the oppressor was the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he started slaughtering them. He started slaughtering them for lying, using this book when the people of God is actually us.
and he's the devil.
Like,
Come on.
I'm not mistaken. Did Hitler say that?
I was just going there. Go ahead. I was about to go there too. I guess you got it.
Black. I mean, Hitler actually did mention in his records that he knew that those so-called Jews are not the Jews. Particularly, he said that the real Jews are in America.
Yeah, Hitler didn't like them Jews because he knew that they were nothing, that they were vagabonds. He knew the history of the Jewish man. How he became a Jewish man is when the Russians, and I forget the other people who were fighting against each other, and both of the people who were at war wanted Amalek to fight. They wanted them to join sides with either Russia or the other country. And at that time, they didn't want to fight. So what they did was they claimed to be Jewish people. They claimed to be the Jews so that they could have no quarrel in this battle, because now they're their own people. They have their own laws, their own cultures, their own customs. And they took our customs, and Hitler knew it. Come on. Come on.
Book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
The Lord said, I know the blasphemy. It's blasphemous for those people that claim to be Jews. Keep going.
And are not.
They are not Jews. They are not the Jewish man. They are not God's chosen people. They are not the sons of God. That is not who they are. The people who are impoverished and enslaved, the women who are whoring themselves out for money, for popularity, because they're so destroyed, don't have no righteous leadership, the women are so destroyed that they give their body up, and brothers will take it because we have just been beaten down to a pulp. So now we abuse these sisters. We take them and make them get on stripper poles, make them whore themselves out. And sisters do it because they got to provide for their children. We don't have no other way. We stuck. We stuck in this hell. And then you got some man claiming to be the righteous man on the earth when he ain't doing nothing but giving them babies herpes, blowing a rod of them babies, sucking the penis of them babies. That ain't in the Bible. That's why the Lord said that they took our symbols and our holy things and blasphemed them. They took the menorah and added a candlestick. They took the rainbow and turned it into some symbol of some LGBTQ. They took all of our scrolls, the frankincense and myrrh, the oil, and they bastardized it. Now you don't even know what's on this table. You look at this table, you have no idea what this stuff is, because the oppressor took it and he made it something that it isn't. He is not the Jew. He is not God's chosen people. You are. You black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you nigger, you monkey, you wetback, you savage, you scum of the earth. That's what they taught you your whole life. Come to find out, you God's great, you the greatest people on the face of the earth. Come to find out. Any more on that? Keep going.
But are the synagogue of Satan?
Yeah, that's who they are. They are the house of Satan. And they set up the Christian church to make us worship them. And that church is also the house of Satan. It's the house of lies.
Right. You
understand? Well, you would not know that unless you come into the classes of the Israelite School of UP County Commander General Yohanan. Understand? So, like it's all the questions that I missed. We getting over the time now, so we're gonna end it there. Real quick, if I could, shout out Commander General Yohanan, Captain Zariak for the New York Cookout. It's happening this weekend. They up in New York and Harlem. They're gonna get it on. If you can make it. Set your arrangements up. After that, I think we got what? Austin, Texas.
No, it's like,
come on. Cali, huh? You sure? Mm-hmm. I gotta check that. I thought Austin was first and Cali was last. But nonetheless, we got either Cali or Houston Cookout is coming. I know Houston is October 31st weekend. That's why I thought that Cali was after that, but no sweat. So get your affairs in orders. If you need more information on anything with a B, just contact the camp leader or the brother over your zone. Passover, April 12th, 2025, the Lord's 56th annual Passover out in ATL. We about to do it big. I'm going to be there for like 2 weeks. I ain't going to hold you. I'm going to be in that mug like I'm T.I. or something. I don't know. But get your arrangements in order. We know exactly where we're going to be at. We know the dates. We got the venues. Everything is set. again, if you need any questions answered for that, just contact your camp leader and we'll get it on. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the class. The water for everybody tuning in.